Well, as we all know now, the LA Lakers have now signed the one and only AD, Anthony Davis. And yes, that is huge. But I'm also disappointed because LA had to fork over Brandon Ingram, who I really like, loves inside game. And I think he's a really good player. He's a good defender. He's very long arms, so he could defend on shooters. So, but I guess probably because something like, for example, the blood clot that happened at the end of the year, where they had to sit him rest of the year because of his blood clot, very serious issue. It's what forced Chris Bosh into early retirement. He had 2 blood clots, and obviously when he had it the second time, Chris was like, I had to call it quits, or else I'm literally risking my life here. I'm like potentially gonna die on the court. Chris had to retire, or else he's seriously risking his life, where he can literally die on the court. And that would be just so horrible to see. So I'm glad Chris Bosh retired. But it's unfortunate, it's very sad. And Brandon Ingram now has that. And I don't know how to do with how they're physically built, how they're kind of long-armed and thin. And it has something to do with your blood rushing through you since you're so thin or something. But you're wondering, well, Kevin Durant doesn't have any kind of blood clots, and he's practically the same build. It's just, I don't know, it's just unluckiness and it's bad health, unfortunate. So that's probably has something to do with it. It was probably because of his health, and the only thing Brandon Ingram will ever be the same again, and that's cold. I don't think that's right. And probably because he's not a 3-point shooter. That's not his game. He doesn't choose to shoot threes, and he doesn't really hit them that often. And he's kind of an average free throw shooter at best. He really struggled on free throws, and that hurts. So I guess I can see why the bads outweighed the good, but it's still unfortunate. I still wanted to keep him. The other one they had to get fork over, Lonzo Ball. Definitely didn't want to hear him go on, but again, injuries. He's not been healthy for his entire career. Injuries has gotten the best of him. He cannot hit free throws. That sucks. He's really pitiful on free throws, but he can. He's gotten better on the 3, and he's a good defender. He's a good distributor, and he's really good as a true point guard. And he's young. Like, he would be going into his 3rd year only. Brandon Ingram would be going to his 4th or 5th this next coming 2019 season. So these are really young players, and I really have a lot of faith that they could play off LeBron and just have a lot of energy. Then throughout the regular season, then going in the playoffs. I don't know, but I hate to see them go. I'll be honest, I do miss him. I'd rather Ingram and Lonzo been on the team still to this day. And Josh Hart, I like him. I liked when he came off the bench. And like he wasn't the greatest shooter, but he's a really good hustler when he fought for loose balls. I remember him. He got the MVP in the NBA D League. He got MVP in that, which is quite a big deal. And he came off the bench. He's an okay shooter at best. He's about an average free throw shooter, but he's pretty good defender, a good hustler, good energy coming off the bench. Also a young player, so hate to see him gone too. I'll be honest, like it's unfortunate. Like it sucks. And then they had to fork over like 3 or 4 first-round picks, also. But they definitely did not want to lose Kuzma because he's not had a bad injury history. In fact, it was just his 2nd year in the NBA along with Lonzo, but he's not had any bad history with his health. He's been very relatively healthy. He can shoot threes. He can pull up and shoot. He's really good at driving. He's a slightly above average free throw shooter, I'll say. He can be better defensively, but hey, he's young. He can always get better. So I can see why they kept Kuzma. And obviously Anthony Davis, really good in the post, can shoot, hit free throws. So I guess it's best that they were able to get Anthony Davis. Of course, LeBron's ecstatic. Is very excited. Ecstatic, what are the other words? Like ESCATIC, whatever. But he's has made a point where this is just the beginning, and he's excited. I'm like, well, then that really got me fantasizing about what could the perfect position be for LA. Because right now they're saying the LA Lakers are now definitely title favorites for next season because they think Golden State will never be the same again. They think KD's gone and Clay could also be potentially gone. Maybe even Draymond. But nothing's happened yet. So, but KD, I mean, his injury could be very severe, and Klay Thompson towards ACL. So Kevin Durant ruptured his Of course, I haven't said about the finals, obviously. It's about damn time that Golden State lost. But it's also because of injuries were riddled Golden State. You know, DeMarcus Cousins missed majority of the playoffs. KD, you know, he has his ankle problems, his calf problems, and then he finally, you know, after so much stress, and they threw him in Game 5 because they needed the win because they were down 3-1, and I understand why they did it. Ruptured Achilles, and that could be very career impacting. And Klay Thompson tore his ACL, and he was having some injury problems, and they were just riddled with it. And DeMarcus Cousins, as we all know, you know, he finally came back, but he never fit their system. DeMarcus Cousins, they should not have gotten DeMarcus Cousins. I'll be honest, like, because he just never had enough time to play with Golden State to be imbued into their system. So he was kind of helpless out there. He was very talented, yes, but they weren't able to use it in the way where Sacramento was, or in his brief spurt in New Orleans when he was side by side with Anthony Davis. And he didn't, unlike those two teams, he was never really in the system of Golden State. So he's definitely guaranteed gone, more likely. KD, we don't know. Like, he go to New York or whatever, what we've heard. Draymond, looks like they won't pay him any kind of max money, and he doesn't deserve it. He is a really good player. He's a great player, but he's not a scorer, and that does tend to hurt in the NBA. And Klay Thompson, heard rumors that even LA could be one of the few teams that could potentially get him, but he'll probably stay with Golden State. Steph still has his contract. I see KD. Me personally, I want KD to stay in Golden State because I want LeBron to get back at Golden State. Only way he can do that, well, he's got the first piece, Anthony Davis, and they didn't have to lose too much because he still got Kuzma, he still got Rondo, re-sign Rondo, re-sign JaVale McGee. Yes, I said that. Re-sign Tyson Chandler only if you cannot get Ivica Zubac back. Zubac. Not with an S, a Z. Also, you know who that is, number 40 for LA, who they just freely gave to the other LA team, to the Clippers, and that majorly pissed me off, because that dude was freaking awesome. Hit free throws, awesome in the post, good rim protecting, pretty good defender. It was just a little bit everything that you want from a center. He just couldn't shoot threes, but he can pull up from the mid-range and shoot. I couldn't believe how good he was, because it was just a shock. So I'm like, and he's like 21, 22. He's barely older than me by like a year. So I'm like, this dude has a long career ahead of him. Why did they get rid of him? You need to get him back. I swear to God, at LA. If you can sign him and lose Chandler, I'm fine with it, because Zubac is better. But if you can't, re-sign Chandler, re-sign JaVale, and yes, even re-sign Lance Stevenson. Good energy player. He's still legit, still young, and he's a veteran. He's got good playoff experience with the Pacers, and he'll have it with LA, hopefully. So, yes, re-sign Lance, Rondo, JaVale, Chandler if you can't get Zubac, or if you can't get Zubac, sign him and get rid of Chandler. No hard feelings, unless they can keep Chandler also, but, man, their payroll's getting really high now they got Anthony Davis. And if LeBron really truly means this is just the beginning, well, then am I thinking, are they going to get like someone like maybe Kyrie or Kemba as their point guard with Rondo? Because they forked over Lonzo, so you need a point guard. So, in my opinion, I'm going to try to wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long, because I'm going to get Arn and play with Josh, Arn Battlefront, or whatever we're going to play. More likely it will be Battlefront or something. They got to get a point guard, and the two best point guards they can get right now, realistically, is Kyrie Irving and Kemba Walker. Now, obviously, I prefer Kyrie. Hey, no hard feelings. If he really wanted to come back with LeBron and it happened, all is forgiven. Like, yeah, it still sucks that you left, because we could have really used you when they went back to the finals without you. And he had to go off for 51 and still couldn't win, because fucking JR happened. So anyways, love for him to come back. Why not? He's great. He's everything when it comes to score. He had his best years with LeBron. Let's be honest. He was not Kyrie Irving that we all know in Boston than he was with LeBron in Cleveland. He was so much better when he was side by side with LeBron, because Kyrie just doesn't have that leadership that he thought he was going for in Boston, and he thought he was going to be star-spangled awesome man. It got exposed, and they were even better, it seemed like, without him in the playoffs the year before when they pushed Cleveland to 7. And they were even up 3-2 against Cleveland before LeBron just did his thing and proved why he's one of the greatest players in NBA history. Just willed his team to victory, even though they were not the better team than Boston. I will say that till the end of my time. Boston was a better team overall than Cleveland. They just didn't have LeBron. That was the only difference. That's why I won 7 games. Because Boston didn't have LeBron, but they were still a better overall team, better coached. Get Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. I'm expecting a minimum Western Conference Finals as long as they stay healthy. And if they are healthy when they get to the Western Conference Finals with Anthony Davis and a Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving signed, one of those 2 point guards, and if they're all healthy, including LeBron, because he's getting up there in years, he's got the groin injury, then I expect finals if they're healthy by the Western Conference Finals. Even if they're hobbled or injured and not fully there, I still expect Western Conference Finals because you got Anthony, LeBron, and Kyrie or Kemba. And so everyone else re-sign like Lance, Rondo, JaVale, Tyson Chandler, or Zubac if they can get him. And I know there's other people, but just the overall players that's more known by fans. So that's if they get at least a point guard. They need a point. Even if they just get a good point guard, they still have high hopes. But particularly if they get Kemba or Kyrie, I'm saying Western Conference minimum. And if they're all healthy by the Western Conference Finals, I'm saying finals if you're healthy. You better get to the finals. And this is best case scenario if you're the LA Lakers. So not only would you already got Anthony. You're Anthony Davis. And if you're able to get and or Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving, great. This is a perfect scenario. They sign Kawhi Leonard. If he does not truly want to stay in Toronto, because he's an unrestricted free agent, so he can go wherever he wants. He can stay in Toronto, sign a max deal with them, or go elsewhere. And there's a lot of talk he can go to LA. Either LA team, Clippers or Lakers. I'm saying Lakers. So he's unrestricted. So all LA Lakers would have to do, all the Lakers would have to do would just sign him. They wouldn't lose anything player-wise or draft. They would just obviously would have to give him the money, but you wouldn't lose anything outside of that. So it's literally adding and not subtracting when it comes to that. And if that was the case, and if you really want to come to the Lakers, not the Clippers, Lakers. If he really wants to keep winning, you come to the Lakers, because especially if they were able to get Kyrie or Kemba, and then you add Kawhi Leonard. Now, if that happens, I'm saying you better get to the finals, no matter what. I don't care if you're even injured going in the playoffs. You better get to the finals, especially if LeBron's healthy and if the other players are hobbled up. They'll be good enough to get to the finals. Then I'll actually will say, yes, LA is actual title favorites. Everyone's saying it right now, and I'm like, they only got Anthony and LeBron. I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be cool to the Lakers, but they did kind of just forked over Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, and Josh Hart, who were good, and I felt like if they stayed healthy with LeBron, they could get in the playoffs and really do something. You're messing up that young core, and it's gonna mess up the team a little bit. But if they did get Kawhi Leonard on top of sign a Kemba or Kyrie with already Anthony Davis and LeBron, and we all stay healthy throughout the season going to the playoffs, yes, I will guarantee that yes, they are definitely 100% the most favored titled contenders for the championship to make the finals and win it. Like that would be that's the greatest team LeBron would ever be a part of, because LA's still kind of young. They still got some young players, and they got I don't care what people say about Frank Vogel. He's a good coach, good playoff experience with Pacers, as we all know. So hopefully LeBron trusts him, unlike he did with Luke Walton. And Jason Kidd as the assistant, I hope that's able to work. Frank Vogel is a better coach than Luke Walton. Of course, that's not really saying much because Luke Walton has yet to really prove himself as a head coach. Just because he's with Golden State for those few years doesn't mean he's a great coach. He's just been with a winning team that went 73-9 and still lost. Because, Kyrie and LeBron, yeah. Or LeBron and Kyrie. So if they're able to get Kawhi on top of already having Anthony Davis and then potentially send a Kemba or Kyrie, yes, title favorites right there. Because you'd have Kawhi, don't worry about your offense, just play defense. Take out the best offensive scorer and lock him down. You don't need to score 20, 22 points per game or wherever you averaged in Toronto. Just average 18, 17, maybe even 15. But average lead the league in steals and by 2.2, 2.5 steals per game, a block and a half per game. Just play lockdown defense. Don't even worry about your offense. LeBron, Rondo, Kyrie, Anthony Davis got you covered. Kawhi, just worry about defense. Be the defensive player of the year that we all know who you truly are. So, and then Kyrie or Kemba, and then LeBron and Anthony Davis, and still having Rondo and JaVale and Tyson and Lance Stevenson, then I'll feel really good about the Lakers' chances in really winning again. And LeBron getting number 4, and if they all stay together, they'll get 5, and then he's going to get 6, and then you can realistically start talking about LeBron as to go. But that's way down the line. I'm just fantasizing, you know, like, they got Anthony Davis now, and they may not get anyone else after that, and that it hurts while it helps because you got Anthony Davis. And I did hear that he is planning on signing another contract. It's not like he just signed a 1-year deal. Because he talked about how he's wanting to negotiate a long-term contract in 2020. Like for the 2020 season. Which is next season. So it sounds like he's potentially locked. It sounds like him and LeBron, since obviously Anthony Davis has the same manager. And Rich Paul. Sounds like... this is gonna... Anthony's bound to stay in LA for the rest of LeBron's career, which unfortunately is winding down. So he needs to start winning now. He needed to win it this year, especially if they're able to get a point guard, and if they were to get Kawhi. But that's a lot of, you know, like, I don't know if they're able to sign Kyrie or Kemba, or will they have to fork over? Are they both going to be unrestricted free agents? I don't know. I think Kyrie might have just signed a 2-year deal. I'm not sure about Kemba, but if they are both going to be, if they're all 3 going to be unrestricted, all LA has to do is just be able to afford them and just see if it's able to work, and if they really want to come to the Lakers. So that's all I gotta say about that. But congrats to the Toronto Raptors for being the Warriors, because that's a big deal to be the Warriors. They're still a tough team, even though they're you know, riddled with injuries. So yeah, great. It was a great tip my hat off to Toronto. You know, they deserved it. I think we can all agree that they deserved it. So LA, if best case scenario literally is, you got Anthony already. If you're able to get, I'm saying if they get Kyrie and Kawhi, that's best case scenario, because not only do you have Kyrie Irving, who's got plenty of experience, playoffs and finals, and former teammates of LeBron, and then Kawhi Leonard, and Anthony, and then LeBron, best case scenario right then and there. But still, I'm not dissing Kemba Walker. I'll still take Kemba Walker if they can't get Kyrie. And I'm still saying they're championship favorites to win. So, they get that, and Kawhi Leonard, and we're already having Anthony and LeBron, yes, title contenders. They need to win it. And when they stay healthy. They need to stay healthy. And then everything else, you know, re-signing of the Lakers that were on 1-year deals this last season, re-sign them. And if you can get Ivica Zubac back, get him back. How dare you, Magic Johnson, or whoever had anything to do with that deal, getting rid of him. How dare you trade his ass for fucking a broken Mike Muscala because they thought he can shoot threes when the man didn't hit nothing. The Lakers. And we're all like, huh? They traded that guy for him? This guy's averaging like fucking 18-12 per game and 60-something% shooting, and he's like an 88% free throw shooter, which was, Ellie was dead last in. So he's literally what you perfectly needed for this guy that can't even shoot, which would be awesome if he could, but he didn't. That's the only reason why they wanted Mike Muscala over Zubac. Zubac couldn't hit threes. Muscala, evidently, is known for hitting threes. He didn't hit nothing for the Lakers. You get Zubac back. Whatever you gotta do. Josh is FaceTiming me, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. So, like and subscribe, favorite, whatever. And talk to you soon with an update, and also a LeBron montage video I'll be uploading very soon. It'll be called LeBron James montage. I'm back. Meaning he's gonna be back for this year. He's gonna get healthy. He's gonna have hopefully a potential MVP-like season. I have high hopes for that. So, LeBron montage video will be coming after. It will be okay. It's gonna be either before this or after this. So this video is gonna be either between. Whatever I'm saying. The montage is going to be before this or after this. Either way, montage video, and this is going to be my best montage video I've yet to make. Also look forward to that. So, see you next video.